Okay, so I'm going to briefly finish this discussion before we go to chart 291 and talk about the methods of finding out what cage you're in. So we have the major pentatonic and the minor pentatonic here. They're listed the same because depending on where you started, it creates the scale. So if you start on 5/6 and play the pattern, you're playing a mixolydian. If you start on root 2 and play the pattern, over here with diatonic rather, start on root 2, you're playing the Ionian. If you start on 3, 4, 5, you're playing the Phrygian. Start on 6, 7 root and go up, you're playing the Aeolian. Start on 2, 3, 4, you're playing the Dorian. Okay, and similarly, here you're playing a mixolydian here. If you start on the 7 and go up, you're playing the Locrian. Now, with pentatonic, we don't have the 4th and the 7th, so it's hard to, see how it would be like a mode. So with the pentatonic, it creates ambiguities, aliases, so to speak. So we have, let's say we have the pentatonic of F. All right, that could be the 4th, which it is, of C. Okay, but it could also be the 5th of B flat. Okay, so we're not worried so much about giving it a unique modal scale quality. Okay, so again though, with the minor and the major pentatonic, you start them where they're at. So if you start a pentatonic here, you've got basically a dominant pentatonic. Let's start that. Let's try that. Starting on the 5/6, you got 5/6. Now that's going to be A shape, right? Because there's your A right there. 5/6 root 2, 3, 5, 6 root. Okay, 5/6 root 2, 3, 5, 6 root. Okay, and then we got to work up for 2, 3, and 5, 6 again. Why is that a dominant pentatonic? Because the 5th, okay, is the A shape, and in the root key, that's the 5th. So you're starting on the 5th. You're going like that. Okay, so according to the so right there, you still can't pin a dominant on it. So we're just going to call it major minor pentatonic. It's the 5th major pentatonic. It's not the dominant. It's not the dominant unless you play the actual diatonic. There's your dominant 7th. But if you start it, let's look at these 3 strings: 3, 5, 6 root, and 2, 3. If we start down here on 3, which is E is the 3rd of C, right? We get our E minor pentatonic. Okay, so that's just an inversion of the key of C. All right. Now, traditionally, we would want to really consider playing an E minor pentatonic following its major G. So it would be like that. So we'd have to do a substitution there to get that G. So if we substituted in the 5th shape, so say we're here on the here in the C box here. If this E minor is the 5th of C, it actually would be the G box, right? So the G shape would be the G shape. Advance the cage word, C-A-G-E, it would be E minor shaped E minor, which it is. Okay. If we wanted to play that in the following the G pentatonic, it would be Okay, so we would just follow the pentatonic of the parent, of which is the sixth minor of, starting on that sixth. It's just going to be G pentatonic, starting from the sixth, which is A minor pentatonic. So it's kind of listed with the majors. We've got to move forward on this. And let's get to the actual major triads. So there, now we're removing the second and the sixth. Okay, so we don't have our minor anymore. Okay, we still have the third, but we just have 5 root 3, 5 root 3. Over here, replace that 5 with the sixth, and we get our minor triads. Again, I'm starting to mention here about the subs, but you can do the major minor pentatonic. We have the subbing also, because you're going to sub in the major and play its sixth. Okay, so that's a subject in itself, a subject in itself, but it's easier to see it over here with the minor triads or the major triads. So let's look at this major triad. Here's the 1, root 3 5, root 3 5, root 3 5. Okay, so let's say we're playing root 3 5, and the key of C is going to be, it's going to start with 5 root 3 5 root 3. How are we going to get to that F? We got to substitute the fourth of the string shape you're starting on. So if you're starting on a C string shape, 3 4 5, what's the fourth of C? Oh no, it's not F. It's an E string shape. So now these two are aliased pretty good. So 3 4 5 is alias to its fourth E string shape, 7 root 2, because F is going to be the new root. Okay, so we're going to play the E string shape there, which is right there. I just had to cheat and look over there. It's just going to be the root. Okay, so we play root, and then 3 5. We're just doing the triad here, and then root again, then 3, and then 5. Now we have to warp up that 5, one fret, and then we went right into the long pattern. But guess what we just made? An E-shaped F. Same thing works with the G, okay? So in that C box, the G is going to be G shape. Look at the bottom. We're starting on the C string shape, 3 4 5. What's the fifth of C? G. G string shape, 6 7 root. Like that. Okay, but we're not playing the 7. We're not even playing the 6th. So we're just going to take the root there. So we start on the G string shape there, which is right here. We're going to start on that root. We've substituted it down one string. When you go down one string, you're going to its fourth. So that the bottom string becomes the fourth. Root 3 5. Okay, root 3, root there, and then we're going way up to this 3 into the long string pattern. Sorry, but it works for the short patterns. Okay, so this root will go up to this third here, warps over for us, and then to 5, like that. I had to adjust the pattern for you. So we still have the substitutions going on with the majors. The same thing goes with the minors, except we're going to get those relative minors. Notice we don't have any 5s on the minor triad pattern stack. So the best thing closest thing we're going to get to C is A minor first inversion. If you do the substitutions, you'll get D minor first inversion, E minor first inversion. Now let's look at half diminished pentatonic. So that works the same way, but because of time restrictions, we have to continue on. Okay, so now we're looking at the half diminished pentatonic, half diminished triads. I don't know how many times I've explained